Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube land? Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today, the last one to my search has come in. The last one for my search for my favorite new EDC has come in. I think those of you that have been following this know which one this probably is. I've already opened it and took a look at it. I couldn't wait. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, here we go. What we have here today is the Hogue Deka Able Lock Folding Knife, 3.25 inch, CPM 20 CV, black Cerakote modified Warren Cliff blade, solid black G10 handles. Total price for this one was $131.21. Normally these go for, if I remember right, I know Knife Works you can get them for like $141, but the normal price is like $170 something, I think, when they're not on sale. Right now people got them on sale. It's a box. Well, let's get this up too, huh? Take a look at the box. And it's a Hogue, super high quality. Super high quality. That's all I got to say about Hogue, super high quality. I think they're on like another level. Hogue is rocking. Every Hogue knife, this is my third one. Every Hogue knife I've had, I have one more coming too, but it's not going to be part of the competition though. Because it's going to be a button lock. I like my other button lock so much, the aluminum one, that I had to get the G10 version, the black G10 version. And that'll be here soon too. But it's not part of the competition. Comes with a nice little pouch, the Hogue pouch. Hogue's got class. They really got class. They have nice boxes. They give you stickers and information on how to take care of your knife. I like the way they do things. Awesome company. I will definitely be paying attention to Hogue. But if you get them at their regular prices, they're expensive. They're more expensive than the other ones that we've been looking at. You just gotta catch these things during holiday sales or whatever, you know what I mean? That's the best time to buy a pocket knife anyways. I don't know if y'all know that, but I never buy stuff unless it's on sale. That's just me. I'm kind of cheap like that. And I never get models I don't like either. I only get the models I like. The Hogue Deka. Let me read you the specs on it. Blade length, 3.25 inches. Close length, 4.25 inches. Overall length, 7.5 inches. Blade thickness, 0.094 inches. Which is like 2 point something millimeter if I remember right. Blade material, CPM 20 CV stainless steel. Blade hardness, 59 to 61 HRC. So this got a little lower temper than the other Hogue, the Ritter, the Hogue Ritter. I think that one was 61 to 62. And I bet you it's because this has a real thin blade. So they made the steel a little bit. They had the temper stay a little bit tougher, a little bit softer. Okay, blade style, modified Warren Cliff. Blade grind, flat. Blade finish, black Cerakote. Blade treatment, cryogenically heat treated, like the SOGs. That's interesting. I didn't know that they were cryogenically heat treated. So they heat treated the same way the SOGs are heat treated. Handle material, solid black G10 with cross-hatch texture. Locking mechanism, ambidextrous able lock. Pocket clip, tip up, reversible with filler plate. Designer, Alan Urshowitz. Weight 2.3 ounces. Where's it made? The US of A. The US of A. United States of America. That's right. That's right. It's beautiful. That's all I got to say so far for it. But be careful with this one. This one's bitten me already a couple times because I was playing with it. And if you hold it like this, it will bite you right here. Because the blade comes all the way to the end of the handle scale. It's pretty much put together like the Hogue Ritter, where you got a stainless steel liner that goes back to right about where this screw is. These two screws look like they're the screws that hold in the stainless steel liner. That's how the Hogue Ritter's made too. But this one's totally embedded into the G10, so you can't see it. It's not exposed like the Hogue Ritter is. And the pivot screws are a little bit different. I love this blade. It's real thin though. This is not a pry bar knife, but it will be a nice slicer. A great EDC folder, perfect for opening up letters and boxes and things like that, or using for food prep, for everyday cutting. What I would call everyday cutting chores. This would be an excellent knife for that. Super lightweight. When this is in your pocket, you don't even know it's in your pocket. And look. Just like a Benchmade. Operates just like a Benchmade. Absolutely love it. And of course, it's got the Hogue's polished edge. Super sharp. Absolutely love it. Pocket clip. And it's super smooth. You just got to be careful where the blade is because you don't want to bite you. Or you use thumb studs. And this one operates even smoother than the Ritter. This one's even smoother than the Ritter. I didn't think you could be smoother than the Ritter, but this one is. This is the smoothest operating Axis style lock, or should I say able lock or crossbar lock, that I've ever used. Out of all the ones I've bought and tried out, this is the smoothest. Nothing smoother than this one. The Hogue Deka. Absolutely love it. 20 CV steel with a thin edge. This will stay sharp forever. But it's not a knife that's a heavy duty knife. This is what I would call a light duty knife. This is how I cut myself before. So I better watch what I'm doing here. That's the only thing that you have to worry about with this one though, is like where you're holding it in the handle. You can't hold it like this. I like to hold a lot of these little ones like this and just sort of like flip them from here. So you sort of like press the butt of the knife against the palm of your hand, and then you just flip it from there and then flip it back. But you can't do that with this one because it'll bite you. So you got to keep it away from the palm of your hand. You just have to adjust how you use it. Otherwise it will bite you. Give you a nice little slice in your hand. Absolutely beautiful. Hogue is something else. I think to me, of all the knives I have for their folding knives, Hogues are the highest quality. I think they're my highest quality knives. And like the cold steels, when you get those and they're right, they're perfect too. But lots of times you get ones that aren't perfect. I've had to send back several knives to cold steel to get them replaced. But the ones they always send you back are perfect. And cold steel is very quick to, they don't try to repair the knife or nothing, they just replace it with the perfect one. Absolutely love this blade. This is an awesome little folder. Alright, let's do some comparisons. Now that we got them all done, let's compare them all. Okay, the one in this category, well, this is 3.25, so it's bigger than this one, because I think this one is a 3-inch blade. Very close. This one's just slightly long. The handle, if you don't go by the pocket clip, it'd be like that. Basically the same size. The difference is so small it's not even measurable, really. But this one, when I came to me, it was not smooth. It's smooth now, but it wasn't smooth. It's still not as smooth as the Hogue, but it's very nice. This one's only 43 bucks too, so you know you got to remember that. And this one comes from China. It's not from the United States. As D2, doesn't have 20 CV. I definitely think this would be a tougher knife though, because the blade stock is probably a little bit thicker. I don't know, maybe they're about the same. Because if you look where the blade tang is, they look like they're the same thickness. And this one has a swedge on the top of it, so you can't see the true thickness all the way through the knife like you can on... But this one has a little bit of a swedge too, so... I like both of these though. This one is the bargain. The SOG is the bargain. But if you just want the best, highest quality one, boom, there it is there. Okay, what else we got to compare out here that's in this competition? Remember, I removed the Pentagon from the competition because it wasn't in perfect working shape. So it's not able to compete. The Vision. I love this Vision. I can't get over how much I love this knife. And this one's cool because it not only has the thumb studs, which are really easy to use, because see how the thumb studs are nicely spaced from the handle scale? This knife was made right. And it's just so easy to use. This one was smooth too right out the box. Out of all the SOGs, this was the smoothest one. It was smooth right out the box. It was ready to go and play with right out the box. Didn't really need to be broken in or anything. Just was ready to go right out the box. Next one out, that's in the competition. Maybe my favorite. Maybe my favorite. Maybe my favorite, the Ritter Hogue. I like the handle on this one, and I love the blade. I love the blade and handle on this one too, though. This one's a little bit more fun to play with, but I just like the quality feel of this one. This one feels like quality every time you use it in your hand. Next in the competition, these are all the real crossbar locks. This is the one that started it for me. All these locks are like this one. All these ones have the same type of lock. I would call it, let's just call it a crossbar lock, a generic term. We'll just use a generic term like crossbar lock. All these have the same type of lock. All 6 of these. Same type of lock. Just that's given different names because it's made by different manufacturers, but basically the same lock. This one has a different type of lock. That's in the competition too. And that's it. Now this one, it turned me on to these because I wanted to find a better EDC that wasn't so big and it'd be a little bit more sheeple friendly. Sheeple friendly. And people that are afraid they get scared when they see a knife, you know, I wanted to be a little bit more sheeple friendly, so they had to be smaller. This one I think is a little bit too big still, even though I love this knife. I don't want the regular Mannix. I like the big Mannix. I like the big Mannix. This will be like my knife that I carry when I'm at home or on the motorcycle or something. I'll carry this one. Or if I go fishing or whatever, because this would be a good knife for making cut bait with sardines and mackerel when you're fishing for stripers and flatheads and channel cats and different things I like to fish for. This will be a good fishing knife. These are my EDC choices. If I need to carry a real small knife, I'm going to pick this one. I like the Hogue Deka. That's my number one for the smaller knives. Between these two. I love this knife too though. I love all these. Every one of these to me are great knives, and I would highly recommend any of these knives. I think they're all great. It's just a matter of personal preference from here on out. Whichever one you like. I like everybody to tell me which one they like the best. Tell me which one you'd want to carry every day for work. For a work knife, to and from work. And that you wouldn't be afraid to be pulling out in front of people and using it to do your cutting chores or task or whatever. I like this one. These are my top two though. These right here. The Vision and the Ritter. This one's the most fun to play with, and it feels like a quality knife too. It doesn't feel like a cheap knife. None of these feel like cheap knives. They all feel like good knives. This is the most fun to play with. This one's fun to play with too, but I just feel like the blade would be better for cutting chores. I don't know. I think it's going to be a draw between these two. These will probably be my two top favorite knives to carry to work. I'll carry all these though. These 5 knives right here are going to be my work knives. These will be my off-duty knives. But I will always be carrying this one too though. Because this is one of my favorites too. My old cold steel Lawman. I can't let that one go. I've been carrying the cold steel Lawman ever since they've been making Lawmen. I have other versions and other steels, the older versions. This is the newest one I have. They even have one newer than this now. They have the S35EN. This is the CTSX HP. I've been carrying this one ever since it first came out. I don't know, what, about 4 years ago or something like that? 4 or 5 years ago? And it's never failed me. I've never even had to resharpen it. It stayed sharp. You know, I don't do super duper heavy duty cutting things. You know, I use it for food prep, like, because I always like to eat fresh food. I'm not one that likes to eat. I like to cook my own food and stuff. So when I'm at work, lots of times I'll make stuff to eat, and I use it for prepping food. That's the reason why I like this one so much. This one's a great food prep knife because of the shape of the blade. This one would be too, but it's too big for me to have at work. I think this would intimidate people. But I've used this one at work. The only thing that about this one that I dislike over the others is the blade. I mean, the handle's real heavy. This one's 5.2 ounces. It's the heaviest one out the whole bunch. And but the handle feels really good in hand. It's just like it's a full handle, so it feels like a big knife's handle, but has a small blade. That's the only thing that keeps me, I think, from making this. Whereas this one feels light. This one's 4.5 ounces. It's like like almost a half an ounce lighter than this one. This one weighs the same thing as this one. They're both 4.5 ounces. I think that's a good weight. I love this one. I think it's hard. I'm going to have to pick the Hogue Ritter. I like the Hogue Ritter the best. But I like this one the best to play with. These two, it's a draw. I got to call it a draw. Now the smaller ones, it's this one. I like the Hogue Ritter. I mean the Hogue Deka. because it's the easiest to do. This just operates buttery smooth. This is the smoothest one out of all these knives. It feels the smoothest. This feels like it's like riding on air or something. It feels really smooth. These are the best value. The Lawman's over $100 now. These have gone up in price because I guess their popularity, they've gone up in price. But that's not in this. This is not in that This is not in the competition though. It's not an axis lock. It's a triad lock. This is not in the competition because it's too big. I love it, but it's too long. Too long for carrying to work. This one's a 4-inch blade. It's okay, you know, it's legal, you know, and everything, but that's too big. I think it would scare people at work. Too many sheeple at work. These two would be the least intimidating at work. I don't think anybody even be thinking about these two because they're small. This one's probably going to be the best cutter because of the blade geometry on it. This is a good slicer though because the blade geometry on this one. This one has like a saber ground blade. This one is an awesome slicer. It's probably the best slicer out of all of these would be this one. These two have the most heavy duty blade stocks. And they weigh the same amount. This one has the most comfortable handle. This handle's really comfortable too though. All of them are really comfortable to use. I think I like the Hogue though. I think this one's stronger. I think this would be more heavy duty and stronger than the Hogue though. Both of these are more heavy duty and stronger than the Hogue. Because these have full liners and the liners are thick. This has a partial liner and it's not as thick as the Hogue's liners. But it does have a bigger stop pin. This one's made the same way that the Ritter's made, with partial liners. So I think this one would be stronger than this one. So if you want the stronger knife, I'd take one of the Saugs. If you want the most highest quality knife, I'd take one of the Hogues. If you want the smoothest knife, I'd take one of the Hogues. If you want the one that's most fun to play with, the Vision. Vision is more fun to play with than any of these. Even more so than this one because this one has a different detent on it. This one's made in China, this one's the one made in Taiwan. The detent on this one is real strong, so you can't just wrist flick it out or whatever. It just doesn't fly out like this one does. So if you want a knife to play with, this is number one. This is the number one fidget. This is what it's all about too. It's supposed to be about fidgeting, right? This is the best fidgeter. So if it's all about fidgeting, this one wins. The Hogue Vision, I mean not the Hogue Vision. The Saug Vision. Studies and Observations Group. Vision wins the contest. For the best fidgeting knife, it would be this one. Hands down. The best quality knife, the knife that makes me want to carry it the most, is the Hogue Ritter. This one's super smooth too. And that's it. So the Vision wins. The Saug Vision wins for the best fidgeter. The Hogue Ritter wins for the highest quality. For the best budget deal, the one that's probably the best one for the most bang for your buck, the TAC XR. My favorite small one, the Hogue Deka. The strongest small one, the Terminus. Great blades, people. Tell me which one you like the best. Peace out. Stiletto.